I'm here today to share you a story about innovation. And where else, if not at the leading innovation forum for farming technology? Here, in the picture, you can see a mailbox. Seems pretty straightforward. Nope. Well, for me, it's something different. It is a picture of one of the most exciting journeys that I've been part of. It is a story about innovation stemming from constraints and the desire to build the future. Let me take you back in time. Let me take you back in spring 2015. We have just decided to revive our largest forest harvester model, Lockset 10H. 10H was originally discontinued because we didn't have right kind of diesel engine to put that machine that would match the stage 3B emission regulations. Right from the beginning, we knew that we needed to make it different. Just relying on the old product would not be enough, and matching the competition would not be an option. We needed something more, something better. First, we started to look for bigger diesel engine with more power, but quite soon we started to walk in the road of adding more turbochargers, more cylinders, more lag, more everything, more coolers. We would also lose our modularity concept, and we would need to redesign the whole machine. All this just to jump about 50 kilowatts above our competition at the time. This started to sound quite stupid. So then we started to think, what if? Followed by a lot of different questions like, could we? Would it be too expensive? Would anyone buy it? Would it work? But most importantly, we started asking ourselves, what if we succeeded? This is how our road to the electrification started. At some point, our roads crossed with Visedo, as Danfoss Editron was formerly known. After one of the sales meetings with the Visedo crew, we gathered our own team to the meeting room to discuss about possibilities of a hybrid solution. We were discussing about the capacity of the energy storage that we would need for the project. And then I remember asking that, by the way, does anyone know what is the physical size of the energy storage that we would need? And I will never forget the answer. It was very casual. Oh, I think it's about the size of a mailbox. And I was like, okay, yes, that's very good. We can work on that. That's no problem. It took only seconds for me to realize that, oh my God, no, that's not possible. And well, in the end, the energy storage was a little larger than a mailbox, about 20 times larger than a mailbox. But physical size of the components or anything else in that matter didn't stop us. 1 year later, in March 2016, marked the moment when we could launch the world's most powerful forest harvester, Lockset 12H GT Hybrid. What started as a design issue took us on a completely different path. And that path has now led us to build not one, but two of the world's most powerful forest harvesters. After this year's launch of the Lockset 8H GT Hybrid, there is no doubt for us at Lockset that the hybrid solutions are the future-proof solution for the forest machines. The simple lesson here is that never underestimate the immense innovation potential rising from what seems to be a constraint or limitation. So, what I want to ask from you today is to think about the constraints and look at the constraints that you or your customers are facing in the future. Look at the trends and ambitions and requirements that the previous speakers have talked about. And think, what kind of opportunities these can create. For you, they can be opportunities to differentiate in the market. For your customers, they can be opportunities to meet the business needs by increasing the productivity, or the operator needs by making the machines more enjoyable to use. For all of us, these are the necessary actions to take to meet our climate targets. So our first challenge was the power. And Lockset's solution for that is a hybrid technology. Our hybrid technology utilizes a parallel hybrid system, which means that the diesel engine and the electric drive is coupled together in the same power line. The system itself has three parts: the energy storage, generator control unit, and the electric drive. The energy storage is an array of supercapacitors which can be loaded, charged and discharged very rapidly. The generator control unit is converting the power between the DC circuit and the three-phase electric drive. The electric drive itself is a permanent magnet motor, which is bolted directly between the engine and the hydraulic components in the same power line. During the project, we were actually quite surprised that the biggest challenges were related to physical layout of the components in the machine and the mechanical design of the power line. But in the end, what we have achieved is really amazing. The whole machine can be built, serviced, and repaired just like normal forest machine. All the components related to the hybrid system, electric system is located between the diesel engine and the hydraulic tanks in a simple service-free package. The high voltage cables only drop down from the energy storage to the electric drive with about 30 centimeter cables. Even when we have been continuously improving the control algorithms of the system and fine-tuning the parameters, adding new features, the backbone of the algorithm was developed by us within the first weeks of the development project, and it has not been altered since. It simply works. So the working principle of the system is quite easy, quite simple. We are just making the engine's job easier, allowing better fuel economy and better transient response for the whole combination. Smoother run on the diesel engine also has positive benefits for operator comfort, noise levels, and lifetime of the power line components. Here in the animation, you can see the system boosting the power line by using the energy from the supercapacitors, and this happens when the power demand is high in the system. In the second animation here, you can see the situation where when power demand has gone down and energy storage can be charged. In practice, these cycles in the forest harvester, they change very rapidly during the work cycles. Here in the graph, you can see the electric system assisting the system in the peak load situations. These are typical for accelerating the tree to the full speed. But when the tree is already moving with the full speed and it's starting to decelerate, there's time to charge the capacitors. On these sudden increases in power demand, the electric drive reacts rapidly, much before the diesel engine had even started to increase the injection quantities. This gives the engine more time to react in an increased load in a more sophisticated way. And don't get me wrong, the modern diesel engines are really good, but they just don't stand a chance against well-optimized electric drive in terms of dynamic response times. Perhaps with this you can imagine what happens in a power line of the forest harvester when processing a 5-meter saw log just under 1.5 seconds. By adding the electric drive to the system, we have been able to increase the total power of the system by 72%, boosting the maximum torque of the system from 1,200 Newton meters to 2,000 Newton meters. This means that we have always plenty of power to perform multiple actions with full speed at any time. We can utilize wider RPM range. As you know, good enough never really is. And same goes with the power. Enough is not sufficient if you want to be the best. This is the ultimate reason why our hybrid harvesters have been such a success. They are simply better machines. Let's look at the benefits in terms of productivity. In harvesters, the operator has large effect to the productivity of the machine. And different kind of automation features and assisting systems can help to increase the productivity of average operator. They can utilize more of the machine's performance. The hybrid system increases the productivity by boosting the performance of the machine. It makes the machine behavior smoother and more consistent. It allows more simultaneous movements without compromises. and makes driving more enjoyable and easy. This way, work is less tiring and the operators can keep the good level of performance throughout the day. We can also process larger and more difficult trees without sacrificing the productivity. We have seen all this to boost the productivity of the machine about 30%. So we have pushed the limits what forest harvester can do. The machine is not the limit anymore. The increased productivity with smoother diesel engine operation help us to save fuel per produced cubic meter for about 15 to 25%. And when it comes to the emissions, let's take a broader look on the forestry industry. About 1.8 billion cubic meters of timber is harvested annually. About 50% of that is harvested with different kind of forest machines. Our machines are cut to length method, and cut to length method is used to cut 300 million cubic meters of timber annually. Cut to length method is already the most sustainable way to harvest forest. And this method is increasing in popularity all the time, and that alone will already save emissions in coming years. 20% saving on fuel on these cut to length operations that are now active would result in 48 million liters of fuel saved annually, which would mean in CO2 emissions 128,000 tons. Think about these kind of numbers scaled to the agriculture sector. We have started our journey, and our journey will produce simply better machines for our customers. We have proudly introduced a technology that saves fuel, cuts emissions, but also lifts the machine to the whole new level in terms of productivity, performance, and operator comfort. There is no other forest machines in the same class. Even in the places where we are not present at the market, we are known as the company who is building hybrid forest machines. Our market share is 2 to 3% globally, but we are known everywhere in the world. This year alone, we have been granted an innovation awards in 2 major European forestry exhibitions. We have got loads of magazine coverage and other smaller recognitions. We have been seen. Customers buy these machines because they want to be the forerunners of the industry in terms of productivity and sustainability. For some, the best machine is the way to attract talented operators, and for some, they just want to make their own workdays more pleasant. For any electrification project, the simulations and calculations are important. Understanding the best use cases is a must. But to go forward and move to the next step, take the leap and build a prototype. As the nature of electric power can be only felt, and the new possibilities of the new technology can be only revealed by experimenting. Think of your own experiences, as maybe most of you have felt it in form of electric cars such as Tesla, or performance hybrids such as Porsche e-hybrids. Can you describe these experiences in numbers? I can't. Everything is hard until you do it. For us, small company, all this seemed almost impossible first. But tackling the issues one by one, we have achieved such a simple solution, and the benefits are obvious for everyone. Looking back, it seems so simple. This was my story about innovation. Thank you.